Bramborough back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. France campaign begun in 1890 on legendary difficulty. Our heavy cruisers continue to meet situations which test their capabilities. The Italian Navy vastly outnumbers our smaller force, rendering a general fleet engagement untenable. So our cruiser groups have to look for smaller battles, although even these often find them either outgunned, outnumbered, or both. In addition, the Rochambeau and Bourrasque-class CAs were designed and built with cost savings as a priority, and so they don't always have the best technology available in all aspects of their designs. That said, we look to them as our workhorses in this Sardinia War. They've done well enough up till now, but will this continue? Let's find out. So there've been a couple of combat lessons learned in the early going in this war with Italy. One of them was the weaponry performance in the Rochambeau-class heavy cruiser, in which a couple of our Rochambeaus took on and successfully defeated an Italian dreadnought. Kind of the post-mortem on that battle, though, is that the 6.9s didn't particularly fare that well, while the contribution of the numerous 2.9s was quite substantial. We're dedicating a lot of tonnage to these 6.9s on this particular class, and I'm not sure we're getting the bang for the buck. So what I'm thinking of doing is a modification to this design to remove these wing 6.9s and place some smaller secondaries down on these lower sponsons. I could go with yet more 2.9s, but I'm kind of thinking maybe we've also seen in the past that the 3.9s do quite well also. So I'm kind of thinking maybe replace these 6.9s with 3.9s. I'm not that interested in doing a lot of refits to our existing Rochambeaus in the fleet because this will be an armament related refit, which is going to make it lengthy and expensive. And also they're at sea and we're at war. I don't want to take them all offline for a refit. But what I think I will do is go ahead and make the refit design and then copy it, and that'll give us a new named class, but build a few like that. In addition, we also have 6 Rochambeau-class cruisers building on the Atlantic coast. When they come out of construction, I will put them into that refit as well. So I'm not going to refit the existing Rochambeaus at sea in the Mediterranean, but we'll get a modified Rochambeau design out there. So first things first, let's go to refit. And I want to make sure that I don't forget it. I also want to make sure that they're upgraded to the better coincidence rangefinder. Right. Okay, let's remove these. Did I get them on both sides? Yes. Another option would be dual mounts. I'm a big fan of increasing the caliber and length. Yes, that slows their reload down, but it gives them range, accuracy, penetration. I think that's well worth. Nah, I don't think I can fit 2. Nah, we'll just go with the single barrels, which I didn't have to lengthen again. I think there's another way to do that. See if we can do it this way. Yeah. Let's just double check those firing arcs. Good, great, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. And we saved some tonnage there. We've already put the coincidence rangefinder on. Can we manage enhanced reloading? Yes. Still happy with this, happy with this. I think I'm happy with these. Do we want to go with, what's our flash fire chance? 7.4. What happens if I go cordite? Well, that's going to make accuracy worse too. You know, I think I'm happy with the ballistite. That's fine. Remember, this is still intended to be a relatively cheap ship for its tonnage, so I'm not... What would the small anti-torp blister add? You know, that's not that much extra cost. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to be some pretty significant added costs for Aux 1. You know, those costs are creeping up. I'm not trying to do anything. I just wanted more of these little secondaries on, and I think a bunch of 3.9s will be a great addition to this ship. So we've taken off quite a few 6.9s, but we've added 15? That doesn't seem right. Is there one missing on this side? There is. Oh, this didn't quite add on correctly. We fixed this. I just kind of assumed that when I rotated them that it would. Oh, and I got to go back and add them on this side now. There we go. Took care of our port weight offset. We're still quite balanced fore and aft. Put on some hydro there for a little bit more torpedo spotting. Okay, let's get a little bit more superstructure. And let's just And those 3.9s cannot be armored. Whereas apparently the 2.9s can. That seems a little odd. Huh. I can armor these, but not those. Okay. Leaves a few tons on the table, but I think this is fine. I don't think we need the increased ammo. These small guns typically have a ton of ammo. It's pretty rare to run out with them. That adds quite a bit, actually. I'm going to leave it as it is. Anything else I do is just going to add to the cost, and I've already accomplished what I wanted. I wanted more secondaries, and I wanted the best coincidence rangefinder, and we have that. So I'm going to save this design. So that's going to be our Rochambeau refit. And then I'm also going to copy. Well, I thought I saved that design. Okay, it just needed to update. And let's copy this. So this will be the Dreadnoughts. I'm just going to save it just like it is, identical. Let's go ahead and build, how about 4 of these. We'll build them over on the Atlantic coast. Brest is fine. I only built 4 because I've already got 6 others. 6 other Rochambeaus building at Le Havre. And pretty recently started. When these complete, I'm going to put these 6 immediately into that same refit. So we'll have 10 of these. By the time this is all done, by then maybe this war will be over and we can go back and refit the older Rochambeaus that are currently serving in an operational status. Okay. What else we got going on here? Saw in one of the earlier battles that there were a few of the Triomphant-class destroyers that had not undergone refit. They still had the double torpedo launcher, not the triple, and the lower coincidence rangefinder. It was a batch of 4. Maybe 6 that didn't get that. I'm refitting those, and then a couple of those are still repairing after that battle as well. 2 of our Dreadnoughts that fought in the first Dreadnought, our first Dreadnought action of the war, 2 episodes ago. They're repaired now, but they were pulled all the way back up to Brest. I'm not moving them over yet because the cruisers and destroyers in Brest are undergoing various refits, repairs, and it'll take a couple of months. And I don't want to send those 2 battleships completely unescorted all the way around. So when these escorts, these 6 heavy cruisers and 3 DDs are available, then we'll move those battleships back on over. Also got 2 of the newest St. Louis class, Océan and St. Louis, in Toulon. And I think we can go ahead and put these guys on out. I just don't know, do I want them to join this existing battle group here, which is a couple of Diderots, or put them out in a separate group? think I'm just going to put them out in a separate group. And with that, we'll head on into April 1911 for the third month of the Sardinia War. Okay, well, this is going to be a long episode that might end in an eventual defeat. Because we have a clash of fleets. It's our two newest dreadnoughts. These are St. Louis class, a few Bovine and Cayman class cruisers, and 3 destroyers against pretty much the entire Italian Navy. Okay, well, there you have it. No contact was made, and that was a draw. However, it was a draw because that was just untenable. That not gameplay, just technically. I've got a pretty decent rig. I can't rattle off all the specs and everything, but you know, my machine handles pretty demanding games regularly, no problem. It wasn't handling that. Not with there were 267 ships in this battle, and it was stuttering along. You know, even 1x compression was more like 0.25x compression, and you know, it would have been miserable to play that battle. It would have been miserable watching the video of that battle, or just would have clicked out. So battles like this aren't going to happen in this series. They're just not. So we have a port defense battle here. One Rochambeau-class heavy cruiser against several destroyers and a couple of light cruisers. That's going to be quite a test. I don't know if Lyon is going to be able to deal with that. Her strengths are her 22 2.9 inch secondaries. Either that's going to carry it or it's not. She's not going to outrun these destroyers, or the light cruisers for that matter. I mean, she's not quite as maneuverable as our light cruisers. So torpedo dodging, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Okay, enemy spotted. I'm going to guess that's probably a destroyer there. Nope, I think that's a light cruiser. I think I'm interested in kind of keeping a distance here. .9 hit. 2.9s are doing some damage as well, though. is starting to lose some propulsion there from the funnels. Just keep working on this light cruiser while she's not smoked up. Boom, that was a pretty good smack. Okay, that forward tower is out. She's kind of pulling, she's pulling out a line there. She's kind of at least temporarily out of the fight. Let's shift to Belul. Flash fires going on Dino. She's out. A lot of these early game light cruisers with so many turrets along their gunnels, typically if one of them starts flash firing, they'll all flash. It's a fairly common occurrence. So far, the destroyers aren't proving to be too threatening. They've certainly got the speed to run right up on us. They're not doing it. Big smack, fire and flooding from a full pin. And Belul. More flooding, another couple penetrations. Looks like kind of in the same area though. Fairly decent longitudinal weight offset. High draft, under a little low in the beam, which helps her achieve that 27.6 knots. Fast torpedo propulsion, which is going to make it 3.3 knot range, or kilometer range. I think Belul is essentially a mission kill at this point. Let's shift fire to some of these closer destroyers. Slow down to cruise speed, help accuracy. Destroyers are not being very aggressive. Who is that? Amaraggio. Amiraglio, St. Bon. 5.1 kilometer range, and we are within that. Let's turn away in case there's already torpedoes in the water. And also just to open the range up a little bit. Say about 5 kilometers. That greatly lessens the torpedo threat, but of course that hurts our own ability to hit these small, fast-moving targets as well. Come on. I mean, I know there's only so much accuracy, but when the target's here and the shells are fired like 30 degrees off, it's like, really? Once again, the 2.9s proving their value. And we've landed a fair number of 6.9 hits as well. Taking some damage. Our aft tower is banged up a little bit, but we've got a fully functional forward tower. 88% structure. And plenty of ammo left. I don't know. They may disengage here. Okay, there we go. One of the destroyers reacquired. Yeah, this one's basically immobilized from engine damage. Okay, and there's one straggler destroyer disposed of. Okay, well, the rest of the Italian forces retreated. Surely this one damaged light cruiser couldn't have been going very fast, but I sailed around for quite a while trying to find it again, and no joy. So we sank 2 Italian ships, a light cruiser and a destroyer. About 700 VP compared to 5 for the Italians. And what's our damage there? Yep. Another endorsement of the 2.9 inch, although the 6.9s did fairly decent as well. So here we have a matchup. 4 of our cruisers. Flagship is one of the Rochambeaus, and then we've got 3 Bourrasque-class heavy cruisers against some of the what have to be older Italian ships. These 2 battleships, they're clearly pre-Dreadnoughts, but they're not like 1890 Dreadnoughts either. These are $10 million ships, 16,000 tons, fairly light armament, 11-inch guns for battleships. Although that's plenty big enough against a heavy cruiser, I would imagine, if they hit. This is clearly kind of an 1890 era light cruiser. 1.3 million, less than 3,000 tons, 22 knot. And then a couple of torpedo boats, Vice destroyers. Both the Rochambeau and the Bourrasque-class have a lot of 2.9s on them, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite guns. Okay, there we go. Enemy spotted. Let's see what we got in front here. Are these the battleships? Sure looks like it. Battleships up front. Or at least first spotted. Something else over here. These other 3 cruisers are lagging so far behind. Somehow they got all messed up in the spawn and were milling about, running into each other back there. So Tonnant's kind of exposed up here. So there's the light cruiser. And I don't think it's a bad idea to try to take out that light cruiser early. Nope, that's one of the torpedo boats. One of the ex-torpedo boats. And that was a 2.9 that had that big hit on that torpedo boat. There was a big smack in this TB. So both of the torpedo boats are gone. That's good. That threat neutralized. Provence is taking some propulsion damage there. Yeah, definitely pre-Dreadnought. Five 5.1s, 4s, 5.1s are casemates, as are the 4s, quite a mix of them. And just a 1 apparently. 1 4.3. Right there. Does have torpedoes. Structures being worn down. 15% crew losses. Quite a few fires. That forward tower is taken out. Her accuracy has been degraded significantly because of the loss of that forward tower. Let's work on Colombo a little bit. See if we can get her degraded a good bit. We'll loop the division back around. Just trying to keep all of our cruisers within firing range. Ooh, Colombo has got a lot of fire going. Let's keep working on her. I'd like cruisers not supporting her battleships very well. She could be over in here a lot closer, delivering some gunfire support, threatening with torpedoes. Nope, she's hanging in the back. Once again, the 2.9 is looking good, but the 6.9s are making a big contribution. Torpedo detonation on Colombo. Colombo's just about done. I'd like to get this battleship taken care of here. San Sebastiano has repaired all of her flooding. Oh, Basilicata taking a lot of damage as well. Basilicata down. Colombo down. San Sebastiano's turn. Those hits just mounting up. Almost 1,000 damage done with the 6.9s. 24,000 from the 2.9s. Thinking back to that refit at the beginning of the episode, I put 3.9s on those lower sponsons. Man, I kind of wish I had just gone ahead and loaded up with all 2.9s on that refit. Provence lagging a little bit behind with her propulsion damage, but I don't think it matters that much. Lots of fires raging, lots of propulsion damage, 45% structure, 24% crew losses and mounting on San Sebastiano. She's just getting hammered, just peppered with those 2.9s. She's taking a fair amount of 6.9 pops as well, interspersed in there in the hit feed as it scrolls past. 30% losses, lots of fire. Which mechanism is going to win the race here? Crew loss, fire, structure, or flooding? It's a dead heat. I have to say, going into this war, the oldest, that Cayman class, a little questionable. But our two later classes, the Bouvin and the Rochambeau, they're doing a nice job. They're doing a nice job in this war. And it's heavy flooding. Okay. I think we probably got maybe medium damage to Provence. It's showing green, though. We'll see. 2,500 victory points, 2 older battleships, an older cruiser, and torpedo boats, but it adds up there. Let's take a look at our gun accuracies. Between 14 and 21% on the mains, and higher than that on average for the 2.9s. I'm almost thinking about going back and refitting the destroyers and drop them from 3.9s to 2.9s. Or doing a new destroyer class with that same idea. Yeah. Medium damage to Provence, light to the other 3. Meanwhile, Britain is fighting the other powers. Or, well, that's interesting. 9 transports lost in the North Sea for Britain, but we're not seeing Germany. And that maybe they've dropped out of the war? Yeah. No, it looks like that war is ended. Italy and Germany and Austria all at just minus 25 now with Britain. Britain apparently isn't fighting anybody right now. So shouldn't this... Maybe it'll disappear on the next turn. And worth mentioning, we have been, because of all the naval presence in the Western Mediterranean, we have been gradually decreasing relations with all of the powers. We're at minus 45 with Austria, minus 53 with Germany, and even though we're positive with Britain, we're getting some negative relations with Britain as well, although that's being counteracted by some positive relations in the North Atlantic. Okay, I think I'm interested in another destroyer design because I don't really want to go back and refit all the triumphants again, at least not during wartime. I don't want to tie all those destroyers up, but I want some more destroyers with 2.9-inch guns. So this design is actually going to be pretty similar. And if it were peacetime, I would just go back and refit the triumphants. And so it's going to be pretty familiar. Anyway, let's go with 36 knot. We'll leave maximum for now. We'll see if we get to keep that. Let's bring cruise size up to standard. I'm going to give her a nice propulsion plant because I want them both fast and maneuverable. We'll leave these as they are, I think. And this armor might get dialed back down. But I'm going to just go 1.5 everywhere, max it out. And then we can shave some of this off for weight. But I like armored destroyers. Okay. Let's get this front tire right here. Let's put some funnels on. I'm going to need 2 funnels, but let's see what we get away with the smaller of the 2. .4. I think that's all right. What's our smoke? Not horrific. Okay, we'll go with that. Let's go ahead and make sure we get that triple launcher on there. That's probably okay for a firing arc. Port or starboard, triple launcher, fine. Okay, and now the guns. And 2.9s. That was the main reason I wanted to do this design. Let's get 5 of them on there if we can. Could actually probably fit 6. And we have a lot of forward weight offset as it is. Can I get another one on there? And those are still pretty decent firing arcs. Okay. 6 2.9s. It's not bad at all. Except we're overweight. Yeah, we can give up a little. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep 6. Let's go back and look at some components. Definitely going to want the best coincidence rangefinder. I'd like the hydro. If I can possibly get it, just adds 1 ton. They're already going to fire pretty fast. Well, let's make them fire even faster than that. There we go. Okay. If we're going to be shooting a lot of HE, let's take the risk with picric acid. Our flash fire chance is very low anyway, so we'll take that risk. I'm going to stay with the ballistite though. I like that better. Okay. First, I need to find a little weight here. I really don't want to give up one of those gun mounts. I bet I don't have to, but I bet I'm going to have to. Let's drop all these to 1.2. Oops. And that got us some of the way there. Oh, that has too much weight. Go back to standard. Drop everything down to 1 here. See if that gets us there closer. Pretty close, pretty close. Still have some forward weight offset. I think we've got room to scooch this barbette back just a hair. Well, kind of messed up one of these guns' firing arcs a little bit. That's better. Now we can ease this aft tower back a little bit. Actually quite a ways. That doesn't get us much, but it gives us room with the torpedo and the funnels. And that will impact that offset. A little bit, anyway. Okay, we're down to 2.1. What happens if we... Let's just take a sliver off the foredeck. Add a sliver to the aft deck. Ooh. Let's take an inch off the main deck for weight. So that aft tower is not really doing anything for weight offset. Neither is the torpedo launcher. Gonna move this gun forward just one notch. Wow, that makes a big difference. Actually made it worse. Putting it right back where it was before. You know, it's 0.1. I'm going to call it good. All right, so we have a destroyer coming in at weight with 6 2.9s. And nothing like the Italian designs, but that's still a pretty potent torpedo capability there with a triple launcher. Oh, do I want fast? Let's see, right now we got a range of 6.1 and fast gives us 4. Yeah, let's go with fast torpedo propulsion on these. Yep, I'm gonna go with this. This is the Bourrasque-class destroyer. Okay, I am going to build 8 of the Bourrasque. Let's see. We'll build them over in the Atlantic. Well, no, I mean the West Med's where we need them. Let's build 4 of them in Nice. And 4 of them in Toulon. Okay. So these are a 36 knot destroyer. The Triomphant's a 35.4. So they'll be pretty interoperable. If they get intermixed with each other, I don't think that's going to be an enormous deal. These are a $3 million destroyer, the Triomphants. as refit are 2.5 million. I think that has to do with armor quality, probably. It's the biggest reason. Okay, we've done that. And before we head on into May 1911, we have some repaired ships in some of these ports that are ready to go back out. There are 3 light cruisers who have repaired Cassard, Infernay, and Pascal. Let's get them back out into the West Med on their commerce protection role. We have 3 Bourrasque-class heavy cruisers in Gibraltar. And let's just get them back out here in the West Med. And let's put these boys on put these on invade. So we got some cruisers protecting our commercial traffic and a few other cruisers beating up on Italian merchants, ideally. Still have 3 battleships out here at sea. This group are Océan, Saint Louis, and their escorts. There's a couple of Diderots with escorts here. And then we've got 6 battleships. Vergnard, Dreadnoughts, and 2 Diderots with some escorts here. And here's the big monster, Italian task force. 22 battleships, 49 heavy cruisers, 64 light cruisers. Scads and scads of destroyers and torpedo boats. And I think every month we're going to get a Clash of Fleet encounter with this thing, and every time that happens, I just can't play those battles. So I'm going to, every time I hit them, I'm just going to either withdraw if I can, or if I have to, off camera, I'll just go in there and try to run away. It takes forever to do that with the FPS and the lag. And we're just going to have to try to whittle away the Italian fleet in other encounters, as we have been doing. And also, I haven't been showing them, but also every turn there's typically, one of these battleship groups fights a lone destroyer. That's not worth playing. I just auto-resolve those. It usually damages the destroyer and sends it into port, which is probably a better result than would happen on the tactical map, where we'd probably never even find the thing. In any case, that will do for this episode. And we'll proceed into June 1911 next time around. If you like what we're doing with the channel, if you like this content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you're new to this series or the channel and would like to catch other episodes in this series that you may not have seen, I'm linking the playlist here. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.